1991, I remember how badly I wanted one of those NASCAR championship rings. And it was a struggle early. The crazy thing is, once we created some momentum, it was one of those dream years where everybody was at their best. And we did it with 2 cars and 2 engines.
Wow. Now, is that what put you on the map to maybe make the move south?
It did, Rick, because it's always a combination of things, right? And it's always about opportunity being created and then capitalizing on the opportunity. And so here's a little insight to 1991, just connecting the dots. And it's probably one of 25 things that had to happen. But mid-season, we go on a run. I think we win 5 in a row. And that includes battling with the Busch National Series and Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte and Jeff and Ward Burton, Kenny Wallace, on and on and on. And that got me the attention that I needed. And then, Dick Moroso, also a New England native, had lost his son, Rob. I was racing the number 25. I never asked him about that, but he reached out and connected with me, and we put together later in the season the opportunity to compete at Rockingham. That would be my debut. And Dick really all but attempted to adopt me. There's no doubt in my mind that there was part of it was that he was suffering a traumatic loss with the death of Rob. And just the connection, I think, that he saw with me. And he gave me a lot of advice when I needed it most. For instance, in the Chevy Dealers 250, the week before I made my Cup debut, we just put it on. And I swapped the lead and battled 2 drivers who were at the top of their game. Chuck Bown, who was so good in the Busch National Series in the early 90s. But probably more relevant in terms of people's identity would be Harry Gant. And Harry was Mr. October in 1991. Steve, you remember, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Rick, I think he won 7 races in a row when you consider it was either 3 or 4 Cup and 3 Busch Grand National,
right,
or vice versa. But he was incredible. And I was battling Harry Gant side by side, and he would leave me that much room between his right side and my left side, because I was to his outside at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I had that much room between my right side on the wall, lap after lap after lap. And I thought, I've never, ever seen or experienced Billy Clark driving this well. Now, if that throws you for a loop, it should, because what you don't know probably is that Billy Clark drove the Skoll car in the Busch Grand National North Series.
Okay, yeah.
And so Harry's car was painted nearly identical to Billy Clark, who is a very good racer, and I competed with week in and week out. And then it wasn't until I cleared him, my spotter said, and that was for the lead, my spotter said, "Finish it, man, finish it. You just passed Handsome Harry." and I nearly screwed it up because I was so preoccupied with, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I was racing with Harry, because it was a march at the end. Anyway, when I got out of the car,
you didn't actually know it was Harry
at the moment, because I think I had to pass 3 or 4 cars late in the race, and I was just knocking them off. When I got to Harry, it just didn't really register, but I was amazed. I was amazed at the precision. This guy's just, Billy Clark, again, is a good racer, but more of a quarter mile, third mile aficionado, right? I mean, that's what we did up in New England. But on this day at this mile track, he was incredible. And then it all made sense afterward. Harry Gant has always been top 5 in my mind of people I've competed against. And I know that is a very, very, very tall, very, very high praise, but he's just that good. And so anyway, in victory lane, I was kind of beating my chest, and I said to the world, I don't care about the criticism anymore. It doesn't matter if people want to give me credit or not. We did it. And now we're headed to Rockingham to make our debut. And I was absolutely cocky. I was way out over my skis. And so Dick Moroso called me in victory lane, and he goes, buddy, that was incredible. I can't wait for us to tackle Rockingham together next week. But you got to explain to me why you seem so damn mad in victory lane. And we talked a lot about it that next week. And he says, and I explained to him, I said, I don't think I ever get the credit I deserve for the year we're having. And he says, why do you worry about that? Why do you worry about that? Just knock them down. Just keep winning. He said, I lost my son. Can you imagine how I would behave if I read all the stuff, all the opinions that people had on Rob and how he lost his life? It was profound, and it really did change me, and it prepared me better for what I was about to jump into, which was, dream come true, to compete in the Winston Cup series.